Magandang umaga. Good morning, everybody who's tuned in this wonderful Saturday. We're back at the Love Wins Live Forum. Of course, I'm Rana Capili Bonifacio, the editor-in-chief of Inspirations.ph by Themes and Motives. And hello, Miss Sharon Fabian, managing director and my co-moderator every Saturday morning. How have you been? It's been, we took a break last week. It was a replay. We showed a replay last week. So it's been 2 weeks since our last broadcast, and we missed all of you that's tuned in this morning. So
Yes, that's right. Yes, good morning. It's a pleasure once again to be spending this morning with you, Rona, and sa mga viewers natin. Isang magandang umaga. Thank you again for choosing to spend your Saturday morning with us. Yes, Rons, we took a break last Saturday, but ni-replay natin yung ating one of our popular episodes because, di ba, we shifted back to GCQ.
Yes.
So we replayed the episode that feature the do's and don'ts when you're doing intimate celebrations. And we featured suppliers, including Nice Print Photography, Teddy Manuel, and Miss Christine Ongte. And they shared with us things that they have learned, yung mga do's and don'ts, because they have started doing intimate celebrations again. So, and natutuwa ako kasi kahit replay siya, there were a lot of people that watched the replay.
Yes, thank you so much for watching.
Thank you so much for watching. And nakakatuwa po kasi even if naka-break kami, I feel like nakatulong po kami sa pagpa-plan ninyo ng inyong intimate events.
Yes, and that's exactly what we are talking about this morning because we were planning for our next set of episodes. We realized that it's really intimate wedding is the way to go. And we love seeing that so many of you are already planning your intimate wedding. So many of you are figuring out how to go about the protocols, how to go about continuing your wedding, planning your wedding amid what is going on right now. And that's why we have invited this morning, of course, a wedding planner who's going to help you and just answer some of the questions that we know a lot of you are asking, like, how do I start wedding planning for a pandemic wedding? And it is my great pleasure also to say that later on, I'm going to be able to interview one-on-one Miss Sharon, of course, because I know she's my co-moderator, no? But Miss Sharon has 20 years of experience in the wedding industry and mounting events that talk about weddings and plan weddings. So there's such a wealth of information and insight from Miss Sharon that we're going to be able to get later on. But before we go there, let me introduce Miss ROCH CHUA.
Natense ako.
Kinabahan ka ba dun sa intro ko?
Kinabahan ako. Sige. Pressure.
Yeah, chika lang yon. But before we chika with Miss Sharon, we will chika with her. And Miss ROCH CHUA, who is, of course, the Vice President of Laguna Events Association of Professional Wedding Planners. Tama ba? Is that the shortcut? But Miss ROCH will correct me. Yes. In 2018, she was awarded the Best Event Planner in Santa Cruz, Laguna. And she's also handled the biggest wedding in Laguna. Earlier, I was talking to her and she said she has quite a number of weddings already lined up for next year. Many of them are towards the south, which is where she's based. So Laguna, Tagaytay, Alabang. If you are there, if you're residing there, or if your wedding is there, yeah, Miss ROCH is the person to ask. And of course, recently she bagged the top grosser award at our bridal fair. Talaga namang parang humahataw tong si Miss ROCH.
Yes.
So please help us welcome Miss ROCH CHUA.
Hello,
Miss
good morning.
ROCH CHUA.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, ROCH. Congratulations sa latest achievement mo. Ang dami-dami na pero meron na naman ulit, top grosser, di ba? Kasi ang sipag ni Miss Rocha. Talaga nakikita ko yung mga post niya, diba? The way she's been reaching out to clients. So,
Yes.
she really deserves all the accomplishments and awards na nakukuha niya ngayon kahit na pandemic. See, it's very much possible,
Yes.
diba?
And we were talking earlier, no? She said that, or I think the three of us realized that there are so many weddings that are going to happen in 2021.
Yes.
Although meron din naman this year, no? And I think a lot of them already alam na nila and they are planning around an intimate wedding, 'di ba? Kasi right now Tagaytay or Laguna I think also is in MGCQ, tama po ba?
MGCQ na kami.
Right.
So,
But
Under
nila,
MGCQ tayo 50% of the venue capacity.
right. So ibig sabihin, math, kung magaling po tayo sa math, kung 100 po ang venue capacity, pwede ang 50, tama ba?
Actually, depende kasi sa space ng venue
Right.
mo. So kasi since under IATF 50%, nakalagay talaga 50% venue capacity, pero i-check mo rin kasi dapat may social distancing na 1.5 meters. So yung kunyari per table mo dati 10, yung iba magiging 4 or 5 na lang. So hindi siya actually magiging hindi natin sasagaran yung 50% kasi magbibigay talaga tayo ng space din.
Yes. And yung isa pang consideration, no, is your suppliers. Kasama po ang mga supplier nyo dun sa head count, right?
Kasama ba siya?
% of the venue capacity. So, di ba, maganda kung bigger yung venue mo for 300. So, mas okay, kaya mo mag 130, 150, depende.
Oo. Or 100 guests, di ba?
100.
100 guests.
Wow.
At ang maganda, kasi di ba iba nagtatanong, kasi yung guest nyo naman, taga-South, di ba?
Yeah.
Taga-South naman, ano naman yung ano sa atin. But ang maganda kasi sa South, you have a lot of open spaces, di ba, Miss Roch?
Oo, yung mga garden weddings dito. And then meron ding venues na may siya, hall siya na open. So, yun ang mas okay sa atin ngayon, di ba? Yung open yung, kasi yung hindi masyadong ngayon eh.
Yes.
Pero
yan ang recommendation ng by health experts na outdoor is better.
Yes.
Diba?
For now.
For now.
We're already talking about that, no? Siyempre I went ahead of myself. But we're already talking about these IATF guidelines, protocols, and all that. So my first question for you, Miss Roch, no, is what should couples remember when they are planning their pandemic wedding? Siyempre, pandemic wedding na yung tawag natin. Intimate wedding siya, pero pandemic wedding din po siya. So ano ba yung as an events planner, ano yung unang pinapaalala niyo po sa mga couples niyo now that they are planning?
Explain ko before kasi 'di ba nag-pandemic, so clients nag-reschedule. All of the clients reschedule sila. So at first medyo tayo 'di ba nung pumasok ang pandemic, parang parang nakakatakot ganyan, ano mangyayari. So ngayon medyo ang thinking nila medyo okay na for events, 'di ba? Kasi like now nag-MGCQ na tayo. So medyo nagkakalinaw na rin for events. And then si client, medyo nagiging flexible na rin sila. Kasi kung makikita mo nag-bridal fair kami and marami pa rin namang nagbo-book for next year and for 2022 rin yung iba. So for I want them to know na for like ngayon pandemic, no? Ang first nilang kailangan kuhanin is yung suppliers na alam yung guidelines and safety protocols para ma-advise sila ng mabuti.
Okay.
Yeah, like yun ang first nilang i-check, no? Kung sa area mo is example, ECQ, so no event talaga under ECQ. And then for MECQ, it's 5 packs lang for events. And then for GCQ, it's 10 packs for events. And then MGCQ, yung ngayon tayo yun, MGCQ is 50% of the venue capacity na.
Okay, sobrang important 'yun, no? That kasi nga as the first people getting married or siguro for soon to weds if you're tuned in, nadagdag 'yon sa listahan mo, 'di ba? Kasi you're already thinking of my guest list, I'm thinking of saan ba natin gagawin, how are we gonna have everybody here, or yung timing and schedule and all of that. And then now, because we are in this situation and this is our reality, nadagdag pa yung, ano nga ba yung protocols? And I've been hearing this from a lot of couples who have gotten married. Talagang sinusubaybayan nila ang bawat announcement na, syempre, ng LGU, of our government, of what is allowable and what is not allowed. So, such a great point, Ms. Rochers. We should hire suppliers who know the protocols. Para, syempre tayo, we don't miss anything. If as a client, as the bride and groom, you don't miss out on these protocols, diba? And it changes depending where you are. Yun nga.
Oo. Per LGU kasi may, like kasi dun sa ibang provinces, no, we have the national guidelines. Kumbaga, meron tayong susundin na national guidelines. Pero meron na kasing provinces na gumawa rin ng guidelines. Iba-ibang LGU may kanya-kanya na rin guidelines. So, dapat i-check din nila yon.
Ayan. So, si Ms. Roth, I'm sure she has done her homework for the protocols in Laguna, in Tagaytay, and in the South.
But Ms. Roch, are you doing events also here in sa NCR?
No, South lang po muna.
Yung concentration mo is the South. But
Batangas. Near area lang.
So yung area mo right now is under MGCQ.
MGC.
Okay.
Pero
so that's
everywhere. Pero ang focus ngayon, since pandemic
kasi may pandemic, dyan muna. Pero that's important to note for couples who are based in the NCR or yung mga bandang Bulacan, 'di ba? Na you originally planned to have a wedding in Tagaytay or in Batangas, 'di ba? In Batangas. So that's important to note na magkaiba po kayo ng status. Not necessarily pare-pareho tayo na MGCQ, okay? So for those who are in Metro Manila right now, we are still under GCQ. But if you're having your intimate celebrations in the South, pagpasok mo ng Laguna, Cavite ba under sa inyo, Roch? MGCQ, oo. Basta nag-toll gate ka na, ganun na lang. Basta nag-toll gate ka na, iba na ho yung ihip ng hangin. Iba na yung quarantine status nila. So that's important for you to know. Kaya tama yung sinasabi ni Ms. Roch na kailangan yung supplier mo, alam niya yung protocol, na hindi lang siya, kung ano yung local protocol, yun lang yung kabisado niya at yun lang yung i-insist niya. Kasi, yun nga, sabi mo nga, no, different LGUs would have different protocols as well. Yung may mga barangay na mas strict, diba? That's been happening. Okay. Sige. Go ahead, Ms.
Yeah, there are basics, tama ba? For all across the board, which is face masks. Ang face shield ba is already part of the minimum?
May na rin paglalabas tayo.
Face shield.
Face mask.
Okay.
So for the venue, doon ang medyo marami. Kailangan may foot bath, ganyan. Tapos yung mga signs on how to
social distance?
Yes. Tapos nadagdagan pa nga yung trabaho namin as event planners. Alam mo yun, nagkaroon na rin kami, kailangan meron kaming marshal. So, kung dati ginagamit ko siya sa groom, mag-a-add na ako ng isa pa para lang mag-marshal, siya yung mag-check ng temperature. Parang yung mga bisita, kung naka-mask ba, kung naka-social distancing ba. Kasi alam mo naman, minsan nakakalimot tayo since celebration nga, di ba? Parang party, ganyan. So, yun lang ang magiging trabaho niya. Plus, meron din tayong added na kukuha rin tayo ng tao from the barangay. Barangay, kasi in case, di ba, like nag-temperature check tayo.
Yes.
So, meron din kasi dapat i-assign si venue na isang area doon for, what do you call this?
Parang
Yung
isolation area?
isolation. Oo, kasi pag kunyari higher temp sila, so magpapahinga muna sila doon for a while. And then i-check ulit. So kung hindi pa rin nag-okay, si barangay is there to call na someone to check them.
Oh.
So dadagdagan, diba? Parang medyo, so parang kung nadagdagan yung sa planner, and then kung mag-DIY ka, so hindi mo alam yung mga ganon, diba?
Right, oo.
Yes, true.
Yeah.
Diba?
And then, iisipin mo pa sinong kakausap dun sa taga-barangay.
Yeah,
Mag-a-assign ka pa.
Yes, double check with the LGU kung ano nga ba. Kasi kung from Laguna, alam ko yung guidelines namin. So kung magtatagaytay ako, I have to go to the Tagaytay LGU and then double check bago kami pumasok ng event doon.
Right. Okay. So, ayan, bago yan sa akin, no? I didn't know that ito yung mga bagong rules and regulations that LGUs have placed. But at the same time,
kasi sa LEAP, di ba, we have submitted na sa LGU. So,
Okay.
yun yung mga pointers. This is LGU for here, sa Laguna. Different from the other LGUs naman. Depende kung ano yung i-recommend ng IATF nila.
Okay.
We recommend, kasi medyo broad yung national LGU natin. National natin na
protocol.
Broad. So, wala masyado doon for events. So, meron kaming sinubmit na, syempre, hindi naman nila alam yung nangyayari talaga sa events, no? So, tiningnan nila kung ano mga pwedeng mangyari, like per supplier, ganyan. So, yun yung medyo nag-usap, and then, for approval siya. Waiting kami, for approval.
Okay. So, if you're watching this, you're getting married, you're planning your intimate wedding, ayan po, alam na po natin na, yun nga, number one, hire suppliers who know the protocols, and number two, that we really need to check what our LGU says, the LGU of your venue. So, kung saan man yung venue nyo. And if you have more questions, please do just type them in the comment box. We can ask Ms. Roch or Ms. Sharon, and we will answer your questions when it comes to planning your intimate wedding. Okay. Ngayon, a lot of people, we're seeing more weddings na, yun nga, people are getting married, no? Like we said, love wins. Kumbaga nga, marami nga nagsasabi, love is, love is immune, di ba? Talagang hindi po magpapatigil ang pag-iibigan ninyo, hindi po namin papayagan. We would like for you to get married. But the weddings that we're doing, they're becoming more memorable in different ways. You know, some of them, it's not the way it used to be, but it's definitely still memorable. So for you, Miss Roch, ano ba ang mga masasabi mong ways for couples to make their weddings more memorable or memorable in a new way ngayon na may pandemic? Is it like going into details? Kasi 'di ba, konti na lang yung tao, konti na lang yung imbitado mo. So does this mean na pwedeng you can be more detailed with your setup and really be able to talk to your guests unlike before? Ano yung mga tips mo?
Ayan, kasi 'di ba, actually memorable siya since loved ones and special close friends mo ang nandyan and relatives. So, maganda rin kung sila sa details ng wedding nila, like yung sa styling. Kasi 'di ba, photos na lang ang matitira sa'yo after the event. So, mas maganda kung mag-push ka rin sa styling mo. And then yung others kasi, di ba, nag-o-online, like live stream sila ng wedding.
Yes.
So, pag naman nag-live stream sila, dapat okay naman ang internet connection.
Oo. Sino ba ang tinatanong dyan sa internet connection? Yung venue ba? Yung photo and video ba? Sino ba ang pwedeng tanongin ng mga couples?
Meron kasing photo and video na nag-o-offer na rin ng ganon. So, pwede add-on like ganyan.
Oo. Pag ganun ba sila ang nagpo-provide ng internet connection or yung access to that?
Yung access talagang malakas yung internet. Kasi kung sa venue, hindi naman din ganun kalakas. So, since naka-announce yung Wi-Fi password nila, so lahat ng guest mo din doon gagamit, di ba?
Oo. So, usually naka-package yan sa supplier, no? Sa photo and video. Parang meron sila.
Nagawa na rin sila for add-on nila.
Okay. Miss Roch, may tanong ako kasi sabi mo i-ano rin nila, di ba? Siguro, because we've been saying kasi intimate muna or intimate lang, maybe we should do away with that, yung lang or yung paradigm na intimate muna. But, you treat it as your wedding.
Right.
So, kung why not? Kung gusto mong mas malaki later on, but it is really your wedding. So, you're saying na i-focus mo rin yung details. May say ba right now? Because ako personally, sabi ko yes, di ba? But would you still recommend for your clients na, yun nga, sabi mo, yung styling and decor, but the other elements, yung dating ino-order mo, sinasama mo sa checklist mo, like invitations, souvenirs.
Actually, lahat sana, di ba? Kasi since wedding mo yan eh. So, it's your special day. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
Pero kung kasi most of my clients nga move sila later part na ng 2021 na sila. Kasi mas gusto talaga nila mag-celebrate nung bigger na event with many friends and family, relatives, ganyan. Pero kung mag-i-intimate kayo ngayon, and no wedding later na, kasi okay lang magsimple ka ngayon kung may bonggang wedding later, di ba? Pero kung yung intimate lang for now, siguro, mo na, same as the other suppliers na nakuha mo, idiretso mo na kasi, di ba, once in a lifetime lang naman yung wedding mo.
Right.
Tapos kung magdi-DIY ka nga, medyo mahihirapan ka since mas iba nga, so nadagdagan pa yung process kung dati marriage license lang bang inaayos ng couple eh. So ngayon, dapat alam mo lahat yun, yung safety protocols and guidelines.
Lumaki ba, Miss Roch, yung scope of responsibility ng mga coordinators ngayon?
Super nadagdagan po, actually. Super, kasi parang ikaw yung in charge talaga sa lahat. Yeah, ikaw naman in charge sa wedding, di ba? Pero nadagdagan as to the safety protocols.
Right.
Siyempre gusto natin yung event natin, wala namang magkakasakit dyan because of the COVID.
Yes.
Yeah. So parang kayo yung frontliners ngayon, no? Sa events industry, the wedding coordinators, kayo ngayon ang mga frontliners namin. Tama?
Tsaka di ba ma'am, yung dati kung mag-i-event tayo, lahat sabay-sabay, andun ang lights and sounds, andyan ang sa LED wall, suppliers, photo and video, halo-halo kayo sa isang venue, no? Kasi syempre aagahan natin ang call time. So ngayon, ang ni-recommend din namin din sa guidelines, syempre para safe tayo, may time limit na lang din as per supplier kung ano yung oras na nila and kung ilan dapat lang ang nandun. Kung ilan yung pwede, kasi dati, no, kung si photo and video, mga nagsasampuyan sila 8 to 10.
True,
so,
yes. Oo.
I-maximize nila. Tatanungin mo naman sila, ilan ba talaga yung kaya nyo na kayo lang, di ba? Medyo mahirap lang pag may SDE kasi ang dami nila dapat doon kasi may editor pa, ganyan. Pero kung ano yung maximum na pwede sa kanila, yun lang ang ilalagay din muna natin for now.
Ako, not just because we're talking to Miss Roch, no, but I would always think kasi, if I were getting married now, what would I do? Diba? Because there's many different options. But I think the top thing I would really do is really hire a wedding planner and coordinator. Because just listening to you tell me that you have to factor in yung ingress, ilan tao, anong oras, babawasan mo. Diba? You might even have to make arrangements with each supplier na pwede ba 5 na lang kayo, hindi 10, ganyan. Parang kung ako yung bride, ma'am, kayo na lang po gumawa nun, pwede? Because pwede mas maganda na lang talaga ako on my wedding day.
Oo, kasi 'di ba parang hindi naman stressed sa wedding mo.
Yeah, and there's just so many things additional that you need to think of, which I think the point is you don't have to think of it. You can have your wedding planner and your wedding coordinator think of it. Kumbaga, problema na po nila yon. Problema mo na lang umappear na maganda at umaura dun sa kasal mo. But as you mentioned, no, it's not just executing the wedding. Your job now is not just executing the wedding, but executing it within proper, following the proper protocols. Diba? Yun ang clincher doon. So, intimate weddings, medyo we're used to it now. We're used to hearing it a little more now. And I think before COVID, before the pandemic, and before all of this, we used to look at intimate weddings as di ba? Yun nga, as Miss Sharon mentioned na, lang. I'm having a small wedding lang, right? Almost as if there's no cost to celebrate. Almost as if parang, ganito lang di ba? Or minsan titingnan natin siya as it's the way celebrities or a personality would celebrate. 'Di ba? Yung pang famous person kumbaga, 'di ba? But intimate weddings, as we've heard from many different couples, they're beautiful in itself also. Maybe that's why a lot of people are choosing it. So para sa iyo, Miss Roch, ano ba ang secret to having a beautiful intimate wedding?
Secret, syempre, dapat yung mga gusto mo mangyari sa wedding mo, dapat ma-incorporate ng wedding planner mo. Diba? Kasi yun yung na-visualize mo. Yun yung na-design mo na magiging wedding mo. So, dapat you coordinate well with your wedding planner kung ano talaga yung mga gusto mo. And then, you have to be flexible sa panahon ngayon. Both suppliers and clients, you have to be flexible kasi baka yung restrictions nga natin.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, okay din na topic yan kasi 'di ba ang suppliers naman natin is willing to, kasi 'di ba willing silang basta open basta open yung dates nila. We can adjust naman our date of event. Tama?
So parang kahit parang what you're saying is kahit anong gusto mong mangyari, pwede natin siya gawa ng paraan with an intimate wedding. Kasi siguro with big weddings like yung 300, 250, parang there's very little space for you to to play around and move around. There's just very little you can do kasi ang dami, there's so many things to think of. But with less guests and with less things involved, parang pwedeng
go on the details, more details.
Yes.
More details.
Kung ito yung personality nyo, gusto nyo ilagay ito into your wedding, i-incorporate, go, do it, di ba? Kayang-kaya. And para sa akin, that's what's great about intimate weddings, is you can personalize it talaga to who you guys are and what's important to you. Yun nga we've been saying in the past broadcasts, there's no more template. Unlike before where it was, okay, I'm engaged. So the first thing I'm gonna do is find my venue, do my prenup shoot, get all my suppliers, diba? And then para kang nagpapasok lang ng blocks into a map. Pero ngayon, it's a blank page and do whatever you want, diba? As creative as you can get.
If I may,
Sharon, na intimate wedding, no? Yung nilalang, kasi di ba sinasabi nga nilalang nila yung, kasi intimate lang naman. So actually, yung other guests ko, other clients ko na nagtatanong sila, what if pag nag-intimate ba kami, mas lesser ba ang magagastos, ganyan? Actually, ang sagot dyan, kasi di ba, yung like all your suppliers, same scope of work ang gagawin nila. So, di ba, parang doon, wala ka naman masyadong maliles doon. Siguro sa number of guests, sa food lang, ganyan. Oo, kasi mababawasan. But, actually, yung styling mo nga, baka madagdagan pa. Since, di ba, 10 per table tayo dati. So, kung ngayon, 4 or 5 per table, madadagdagan pa yung table mo for styling.
Yes. So, parang, pupunuin mo yung butas because of social distancing, di ba?
So, madadagdagan yung style ngayon, stylist na table.
Yes.
So, not actually mababawasan.
Right.
Siguro I guess ang tanong is, because you've said for wedding planners, mas malaki yung scope of work ngayon. Is there an additional premium? Because ako coming from I don't know if you've experienced this, Miss Rona, Miss Roch. If you go to a dentist right now, yung mga bukas na dental clinic, kunyari yung dating rate na 500 pesos for cleaning, mas mahal ngayon kasi ang daming safety measures. So, syempre may cost yun. So, hindi na yung 500, 800 na. Even yung for doctor's appointment, mas mataas ng konti ngayon yung PF ng mga doctors. Because nga, ang daming maraming safety measures na ginawa at may cost yun. Naka-PPE yung tao nila, yung yung barrier nila, mga shields na ininvestan nila. So is that the same for wedding suppliers, Ms. Roche, or particularly in the case of wedding planners? Will there be a premium because of the additional work that you're actually doing in behalf of the couple and the rest of the suppliers? Actually, hindi lang couple kasi kayo yung iintindi ng lahat ng requirement na kailangang i-meet ng lahat ng mga participants, couple, guests, and the other suppliers. Tama ba? Trabaho na yan ngayon ng wedding planner. Okay, so is there a premium to that service?
Actually, dapat talaga meron, no? Since added siyang work sa amin. Pero you can coordinate naman with your planner, no? Since pandemic nga, pwede kayo mag-usap kung mag-a-add ba siya or not. Pwede niyong pag-usapan, no? Kasi both of you naman is nakaranas talaga ng pandemic. So, depende yan sa pag-uusap. Siguro, applicable siya sa mga new bookings, pero siguro yung old bookings mo, pwede nyo naman pag-usapan na yun.
Yeah.
For me, hindi ko lang alam for others. Kasi yung, siguro for new bookings, nandun na siya sa contract, naka-add-on na siya. Kasi since, kunyari, aabutin pa rin ang pandemic si wedding. So, naka-add-on na kailangan naka-PPE, ganyan. Yung for safety protocols nandun, nakapasok doon kung anong mga gagamitin. So, syempre, dapat kami may extra mask din para sa mga walang mask, ganyan, di ba? So, siguro, nasa pag-uusap naman ni plan. Pero, for me, sa nakikita ko, dapat may add-on. Pero, it depends on your planner. Depende sa pag-uusap nyo. You can coordinate naman. Di ba?
Okay. Okay, so, yun, for the clients out there, ano lang natin, let's put it out there na, opo, may additional cost po yun. It's not just the additional effort, but may cost for the suppliers itong pag-a-upgrade nila ng kanilang services to ensure na maging maayos ang inyong event at safe para sa lahat. So, just take note of that kasi wag rin natin baratin yung ating mga suppliers. Now, on the other side of the spectrum, yung mga suppliers, I know si Ms. Roch madaling kausap. I mean, but I think a better term would be maayos kausap and everything can be talked about and pwede kayo mag-meet halfway. Okay. I'm talking to other fellow suppliers na let's also be reasonable. When if we really have to charge, let's be reasonable. Wag na siguro at this point, wag na tayo out to make a profit. Diba? Kung may cost, then we charge it at cost. Diba? Wag nang pagkakitaan ng pandemic din. Diba? Again, it should be a win-win situation for all.
Yeah. And I think this is something we mentioned from, I'm not sure if it was actually last week's episode, but I do remember when we were talking with like Teddy Manuel, he was mentioning that before, if you would book a wedding, for example, in his case as a stylist, it really just takes a day to bring everything in and bring everything out. But now, because there's so many factors, yun nga, hindi pwedeng sabay-sabay. Kumbaga, that head count of, let's say, 50 or 30, whatever it is all the time, di ba? Hindi naman siya during the wedding lang. So even before the wedding, yun lang ang maximum allowable people inside the room. So that might mean na day before, may ingress na. And then, let's say, may curfew pa din where you are. Hindi na rin siya pwedeng i-egress after the wedding, unlike what we're used to, hindi ba? So baka the next day pa po yun. So in essence, that's actually sort of 2 or 2.5 days worth of work as compared to before, 1 whole day lang siya na pasok ka lang maaga, uwi ka lang ng late, gano'n, di ba?
Yes, so dati overtime na bayad lang sa tao yon. Tama ba, Miss Roch? But kung because of 2 different days, hindi na overtime yon. We pay them.
Yung venue, i-check mo rin. Kasi kung papasok ng 2 days, baka sumingil din si venue.
Yes.
Pero some other venues naman, kung wala namang silang event before, walang booking, pwede, hindi na nila i-charge yun. Like, pero ang i-charge na lang nila is yung electricity. Ganyan.
Yes. Oo, tama. Again, I think because of what everybody's going through and what the whole wedding industry is going through, everybody is very willing to for us to meet halfway. For clients and suppliers to have a win-win situation, because we all understand that we want you guys to get married and we want, at the same time, na lahat tayo happy. Diba? Lahat tayo happy sa nangyari. At walang nagkasakit. So, Miss Roch, meron ba po ba kayong last words or your final tips for couples who are planning their intimate wedding ngayon na pandemya at ngayon na yun nga napakadaming kailangan isipin? Siguro that's more the maybe that's really more what we should think of, not so much that we're getting married and there's all of these bad things happening, but it's a little bit more complicated to get married these days. Meron ba kayong final tips, Miss Roch?
Ang final tips, yun nga, to get the suppliers, who knows the guidelines and the safety protocols. Para hindi naman tayo basta lang go ng go like gaya nung dati. Hindi na tayo dapat ganon. So, dapat ngayon, kasi yung iba, meron kasing nag-i-event na ngayon, pero kung makikita mo, di ba, parang walang social distancing.
Yeah.
Mas, di ba? So, oo, alam natin na yung example, intimate nga since family, same compound, pero we have to adjust pa rin kung ano yung magiging new normal natin, no? Dapat, kasi nga virus hindi natin alam, hindi natin nakikita.
That's true. Oo.
You have to hire the professionals who knows talaga how to work at this time of pandemic talaga. Kasi sila magre-remind sa inyo. So, Pinoy, clingy yan. Pag nakita, di ba, beso, hag, ganyan. Wala nang
hindi nagkita, di ba?
Yes, oo.
Nagkita. So, ngayon, ang safe, ngayon, di ba, pagkakain na lang, doon mo na lang ibababa yung yung mask mo. So, dapat yun, yung ganyan. So, kung, dati kasi, di ba, plated lang dapat. Plated muna. No buffet muna tayo, di ba? So, si caterers din, like Juan Carlos or Alex, I saw them, di ba? Meron na sila, yung packages nila ngayon, meron na rin with social distancing, for the new normal, ganyan. Merong acrylic sa buffet, ganyan. Yes. For supplier, talagang kailangan mag-add na rin sila sa safety nila. Dapat alam nila kung paano.
That's true, oo.
Those are great tips. And I think as we've said, again, it comes up in every broadcast without us meaning for it to come up in every broadcast. But this is why it is very important for us to get suppliers we can trust.
That's right.
Suppliers who know what they're doing, and who are going to take it seriously. This is not their way to pass the time, but this is really they're invested in it, and they know that as they're doing it, it really also it doesn't just affect clients, but it affects the industry as a whole. Diba?
That's right. Miss Roch, speaking of suppliers, siguro po imbitahan mo sila because in your area, there's sleep, no? Say something about the organization kasi baka yung mga nag-iisip na, okay, kakasal ako sa South, So I really need to get one talagang reputable supplier. At di ba ang tagline nga natin ng online bridal fair, no bogus and no virus, di ba?
Yeah.
So yes, let's talk yung final words mo siguro, also promote yung association ninyo and the suppliers yung natin o organization.
Yes, here in Laguna, we have LEAP. It's Laguna Events Association of Professionals. You can check our FB page. And then there's the list then ng suppliers or members that you can choose from.
Lahat
Para,
yan registered businesses, di ba, Miss Roch?
yes,
Oo, lahat yan legitimate.
DTI, Mayor's Permit, and BIR. Complete papers po kami.
Yun. Very important. Thank you, Miss Roch.
Oo, tsaka chine-check na rin sila ng LGU right now. Yung ating requirements, if complete ang supplier.
Sige, we'll comment on this actual live stream, the Facebook page of LEAP, so that if you are interested to look at the suppliers and see what LEAP is all about and see if LEAP can help you, you can just click on that link. So thank you, Miss Roch, for being with us this morning.
Thank you, Miss Rona. Thank you, Miss Sharon.
Yes, thank you, Miss Roch. It's a pleasure to have you in the show again. And we look forward to having you in our future episodes. And congratulations sa LEAP for a very successful online bridal fair. Mukhang magkakaroon pa ulit, no, in the year. So, abangan po natin lahat yan.
Yung yung sa venue na tayo.
Oo, sana, di ba? So, abangan po natin. You can check out Miss Roch. Please invite them to visit. Ano po ang mga contact details ninyo?
Contact details, IG, follow me at ROCH CHUA, Events by the Planner. And then our FB page, Events by the Planner. And then my Facebook account, ROCH CHUA.
Yeah. So, thank you again. You can follow ROCH CHUA. Para rin po mga updates din for what's happening in the South if you're getting married in the South. Yeah. Thank you.
Roch.
Bye.
Ayun. So,
Nagulat. Ang hirap ng trabaho ng planner. Parang feeling ko, ang sama, I'm glad na hindi talaga yun yung main line ko. But, frontliner na ang dating nila.
Yes, and sila na yung susungitan ng mga tao kapag you remind them, friendly reminders of keep your mask on, wag niyo po muna ibesto si bride and groom. So, be kind to your wedding planners. If you're attending an event, be kind to their wedding planners. And, yun, get a good wedding planner and coordinator. I think
that's true.
Malabas talaga na number one tip siya for your intimate wedding. And of course, we're still talking about intimate weddings. We still have a bit of time. And I get to pick the brains of Miss Sharon today about intimate weddings. Obviously, Miss Sharon, you've seen weddings evolve, diba? From what was it like when it first started? Obviously, it wasn't yung massive yung the way we remember or yung feelings are, 'di ba? Punong-puno, 300 guests, all of that. It was much simpler then, although we still have bridal fairs.
That's true. When we started, actually, ang themes and motives, it's the company that started yung bridal fairs outside of the hotel. Okay. Noon, nung unang panahon, ang hirap sabihin, parang ang tagal na, pero nilabas na natin 20 plus years of events experience, no? But when yung birth ng wedding industry, no, sa atin, it was really in the hotels. Kasi yung hotels, they are promoting their hotel, their banquet packages. And part of their, I think, ad and promo efforts, they would host a bridal fair. But, simple yun noon. It's a table. na medyo may decoration, and you will have your albums there or what have you, portfolio, ang picture mo naka-easel, and that's what you will see when you go to any hotel bridal fair that time. And it's very limited because of course walang choice ng caterer. And walang ibang other hotel na pagpipilian because it's really their added promo effort for their wedding packages.
Yeah.
Okay, Themes and Motifs started the exhibits, the bridal fairs outside of the hotel venue because I guess one time I was talking to my husband and I'm saying maganda siguro like if you have a fair na it's all there, it's a one-stop shop.
Mhm.
Para ka mag-grocery na, kailangan ko caterer, kailangan ko photo video, kailangan ko ng hotel, kailangan ko ng florist. Okay, and doon nag-umpisa si Themes and Motifs with that thought in mind of offering a one-stop shop bridal fair for those who are planning to get married. Okay, but even at the time, so that was 18 years ago, the very first time na nag-Wedding Expo Philippines. But earlier than that, because prior to Wedding Expo Philippines, we had the year na tinest namin yung market. Okay, so almost 20 years na nga. Hindi pa, kasi kung ano yung setup sa bridal fair, reflection yan of what actually happens on ground, dun sa actual wedding. So yung setup, maganda siya, pero hindi siya like the ones that you're seeing now na overwhelming and very luxurious yung feel, no?
Yes.
So it's a beautiful setup, pero ang layo from what we have been experiencing. Kasi yung mga grand setups na yan that came about, I think about 5-6 years ago, at yan ay naging trend na may mga chandeliers ka from the ceiling, di ba? Yung mga drapings mo. Nag-umpisa sa simpleng cloth draping yan hanggang nag-evolve at hanggang naging bonggang-bongga na talaga siya. So makikita mo rin yan in a bridal fair setup na pre-pandemic, I always look forward to the setups kasi makikita mo yung trend na ano na bang uso ngayon. So we get a glimpse of that. So yes, pre-pandemic, it was really the grand ceiling treatment.
Mhm.
Okay? Even the grand table setups.
Yes.
Na natatawa nga ako because there was one bride that I don't know kung naalala mo to, Rona, when we were doing a shoot for Inspirations magazine and yung model natin ikakasal.
Yes.
Na isa lang ang request ng magulang nila na pwede ba daw ang kanilang centerpiece sa table yung pwedeng magkakitaan yung
Right.
oo. 'Di ba? Kasi ganun naka-massive at ganun ka-massive.
Fan na sila di ba? Yung how's your dinner?
Yan. So, yun lang daw ang bukod tanging request ng parents nila na sige, bahala kayo how you wanna set it up, but pwede ba yung nasa VIP table? Nakikita naman namin yung mga kasama na isa't isa sa table.
Yes.
Grabe ang detailing.
But now, obviously, the pandemic has forced new trends to come out. I think that's really the better term. There's just new trends coming out when it comes to weddings. I think we came out with an article a couple of times that even when it comes to the fashion, dresses are a little bit more different. Hindi na siya yung big cathedral length all the time and the big skirts, diba? It's a little cleaner. It's a little more it's not as big, but it's actually more detailed. Kasi nga, your guests are all talking to you up close, hindi ka na dun sa entabladong napakamalayo, di ba? So you get to, they get to do that. But now, what are the trends that you're seeing in intimate weddings?
Oo. Well, ano ko lang, Rona, na not really that up close kasi meron tayong ino-observe na 6 feet away. But yes, we have simple cuts now, clean cuts, less embellishment. And that's fast becoming a trend because yun nga, the direction now is if you will have your wedding now. Ayoko na nga siya i-term na intimate wedding because that is really that is really the wedding now.
Yes. Wala nang ibang option.
Oo, and I don't want to call it the new normal because that is what's normal now. Okay,
Yeah.
and reality check. The hard fact is, it's 6 months already. So
Right.
normal na yan sa buhay natin. Yan ay normal. So yes, the dresses now are simpler. Wala na yung mga big gowns, long trains, because the safest way to have your celebration now is to go outdoors, or open space, or if you go to the mall now, you'd notice hindi malakas ang aircon.
Yes.
Okay, the aircons would be at a higher temperature now. So that is why, as far as the bridal dresses are concerned, the simpler, the better. But wearing a simple gown does not mean hindi na siya elegant. Okay?
Yes.
So kaya the brides are doing away with the big gowns kasi if you are outdoors, di ba kung nasa Pilipinas kayo ngayon or Metro Manila or in Luzon, the past few days, the heat has been very unbearable, di ba? Grabing init. So you really dress up for the occasion now. So if you're outdoors or you are indoors but you're following the guidelines na dapat higher ang temperature, you open the windows for ventilation, you cannot afford to wear a heavy gown.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and the same is true now for the makeup. If you've been seeing posts on social media pages, even yung makeup, because dahil may curfew, especially sa atin sa Pilipinas, wala na tayong mga evening weddings ngayon.
Yes.
Diba? So you would have the breakfast weddings or the lunch weddings. So
yeah,
ang mga makeup ngayon is, yung no makeup.
Yes.
Yan. Oo. Yung parang, I woke up like this. Parang Miss Rona lang ang peg. Yan ngayon ang mga naging development. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, as Miss Roch said, pwede mo pa rin namang investan yung iyong decor. Okay? Maybe, I think we will have an episode where we will be interviewing the official event stylist of Wedding Expo Philippines online bridal fair, si Teddy Manuel. Meron siyang suggestions for setups na, of course, it's not like before na bonggang ceiling treatment, but you can still decorate your venue. And you can still go into detailing in yung mga centerpieces. But I guess you would also have to take into account that it is a daytime celebration. Most likely it's outdoors. So even your choices ng flowers or the props to use, you have to take into account yung factors na yun. And it might be hot and humid. Yon. So, yes, you can go dun sa decor. Now, earlier I asked si Roche if there was a point in, diba? Because ako, I don't want to say, intimate muna kasi kami, tapos tsaka na lang yung okay.
Yes.
Why do I have that stand? Again, I will go back to what I have been saying. When this thing started, when the pandemic started, at sinabi nila magla-lockdown, everybody thought, I mean, siguro hindi lahat, but generally, most of us, we thought 2 weeks to 4 weeks tops, and we will go back to the way things are. Okay?
Yes.
But now, it's
lang natin.
Palilipasin, magtatago lang tayo for 30 days, di ba? But it's 6 months already, and worldwide, ganito ang nangyayari. It's not.
Yeah, everyone's life is changing.
Life has changed, and it is still changing. Everything is very fluid. So that is why I'm saying, you don't say, eto na lang muna. Okay?
Yes.
We don't know what will happen 6 months from now. Or actually tomorrow. We don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, so dalawa lang naman kasi ang choice mo ngayon. you go ahead, you move forward with your original date, or kung hindi na siya original date, but you move forward and just go ahead and get married, or you decide to postpone and wait things to become better so that you can have the wedding that you envision, the pre-pandemic wedding vision that you had. So yun lang yung choice mo ngayon. And walang choice na magiging better kesa sa isa, 'di ba? I mean,
Right. Yeah.
whatever you choose to decide, that is your choice, 'di ba?
The
Hindi
best one is the one you want, di ba? It's the one that suits you.
it doesn't make it na better kasi you get married now, or
Mm-hmm.
better kasi aantayin mo, 'di ba? It's kung ano yung comfort level mo, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But yung mga nag-decide to get married, that's why I don't wanna say na intimate wedding lang. You embrace it, okay?
Yeah.
Embrace the fact that you are getting married, and it's not magpapakasal na lang kami, eto na lang muna. Okay.
Yes.
So you embrace the fact na you will get married, and you will have the best wedding that you can have given what is happening now in the country, in your LGU.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so yun dapat ganun yung
Yung
mindset.
mindset. Yeah. And interviewing couples in inspirations.ph, across the board, this is what they've all said, that wedding planning for them, parang bumalik yung joy, or they became excited again when they just face the hard facts and they face reality that this is what is handed to us, this is what we've got, how do we make the best of it?
That's right.
And then from that, ayun, bumalik lahat nung excitement nila to get married, and with all of that came, yes, of course, we're still going to celebrate to the ability that we can, diba?
Yeah.
If we can afford to dress up this place, we will. If I can afford to wear a beautiful gown, I will. Kumbaga, it's the same joy, it's the same.
Yes. Hindi siya lang. Hindi siya, ito na lang muna. Okay? So, yun. If you decide to get married. Now, siguro, let me just say this na, okay, if you decide to postpone and just wait for things to get better, okay, again, i-review mo yung, if you have already started booking, sabi nga kanina, diba, we were talking backstage with Miss Roch, no? And you would say na, okay, I will decide to postpone next year na lang talaga. Okay? Then, ano ba sasabihin ko? Well, kasi may process, Rona, and because we're saying this, and we're trying to inspire you,
Yes.
it's okay if right now you are still upset that things are not going your way. It's okay that you're upset that the pandemic disrupted not just your wedding plans, but your way of life. It's okay not to be okay. Okay. And it's okay that it's taking you some time to finally arrive at a decision. That's fine. Okay. Now, when you finally decide, okay, hindi na lang muna, yung pinag-usapan po namin kanina backstage, syempre bago nangyari ang pandemic, tuloy-tuloy naman ang buhay, at may mga nag-book na for 2021, for 2022, no? Especially with the venues and the churches. Okay, if you decide to postpone, kahit na hindi natin alam anong mangyayari, mag-forecast ka na ng date na gusto mo, and try to secure that date. Decide on that date and try to secure that. Go back to your suppliers if you have already started booking or you have an existing contract already. Review your contracts and go back to your suppliers and talk to them and discuss the date or date options ninyo or dates, no? And try to secure that. Of course, you always balance it yung reality check that everything is fluid at this point, diba? But it would be good already to have a date in mind in the future, because again, you will be competing na yung term ko, kasi hindi lang ikaw ang nag-decide to postpone. So you will be competing with other couples who will also try to secure their date. At syempre, may mga nauna na sa inyo eh. Those that have originally planned to get married in 2021 or even as far as 2022. Okay, so those are the things that you have to do if you do decide to, sige, talagang malabo. Mukhang in December, I will not really have the wedding na gusto ko. And my parents who are still locked down abroad, cannot fly back. I want to wait for them. Okay, these are the things that you have to take care of. Now, if you do decide to, okay, let's move forward regardless of what we have. Yun nga yung sinasabi natin na you try to come up with the best naman with what's available right now.
Yeah.
But dalawa lang yung kanina, hindi, doon ko na-realize when we were talking to Roch, importante, dati, huling-huli to na gagawin na lahat kasi ang popular dati before the pandemic, yung on-the-day coordination. Okay,
Yes.
so, diba? On-the-day coordination. So, sige, gagawin namin lahat. Oo.
Yung, di ba,
namin
you plan your wedding on your own, but then
Yes.
you will hire a coordinator just to execute.
Yes. So, kasi parang, okay, I want to plan everything, but I just need someone on the day itself
Na
para
siya
hindi
na
ako
ang
ma-harass.
problema. Yes.
So, huling-huling choice palagi ang wedding planner. Okay? Pre-pandemic, seldom would you have clients who will book for yung comprehensive, lahat sa planner, or
Yes.
the halfway. Okay? Now, before you finalize everything, when you work on your budget again, kasi syempre ang dami ng factors ngayon. It's not just the wedding ang naapektuhan. Some of you might have found a new career already. Kasi if you're in a business and natamaan yung business mo, nag-pivot ka and you're doing something else now. So financially, things might have changed for you. Or, diba, you've stopped working in your 9 to 5 job. You know, things have changed. Life has changed. So when you work on your financials again, yung budget nyo for your wedding, please make sure that you have a budget for a coordinator. And I'd like to emphasize that. Make sure that you have someone who will help you navigate through everything that needs to be done. Sana hindi kayo na-discourage yung nakita nyo na, ay, naku, ang dami palang gagawin. I mean, it's not meant to discourage you, but we always temper everything with the reality check. These are the things that you need to do kung ikakasal ka at this point. Okay, so there you budget for a wedding coordinator and you interview, hindi po yung unang makikita nyo, unang makaka-chat nyo. Ask for character references. Ask yung scope ng work na nagawa na nila, the different types of events that they have handled. Because at this point in a pandemic, seniority matters. Okay. At hindi ko ibig sabihin dapat senior citizens ang kukunin nyo. But
the experience, no? The wealth of
yung
experience.
range, yung wealth of experience, yung range, okay? Hindi po pwede dito ang medyo bagito.
Yeah.
Na, diba? Hindi po pwede.
Sorry, guys, it's true.
It's really, I mean, kasi yun eh, diba? May ano yun, may wisdom yung getting someone who has a wealth of experience. Okay?
Yes.
Yung, nadaanan na nila lahat ng posibleng mangyari. And at this point, ang pandemic lang ang hindi nila nadaanan.
Yeah.
Okay? Because wala namang nakadaan sa atin sa pandemic. So, it's really important you ask for character references or client reference. Sino do a background check. Okay? Yeah. And you have to work with someone who has a wide range of experience when it comes to handling events. Okay? And it's very important, and this is, well, it's a trend in everything, not just in getting married. But especially because you're getting married, you really have to, na-mention ni Rocho, you really have to monitor. You have to be really regularly updated doon sa protocol in your LGU. Okay? And you have to strictly follow the health guidelines issued by the IATF, yung Inter-Agency Task Force natin, handling the pandemic. Kasi importante yon, okay? I know, ipunta ka sa social media, ang daming bashing the way the government or local government, the way they're handling the pandemic. But it's really important that you you pay attention to the guidelines that they're issuing. Kasi hindi lang sila basta yan, that's also in line with the international
Yeah.
health standards. Okay, so keep yourself updated,
Okay.
and
Yeah.
you really follow the guidelines. Sabi nga ni Roch, 'di ba? Meron siyang nakikita na iba nag-events parang hindi na fina-follow ang social protocol
Yes.
kasi ang thinking magkakamag-anak. 2 nights ago, I was watching the news, CNN. Dwayne The Rock Johnson,
I was going to mention.
okay, siguro naman kilala siya ng lahat, no? Si The Rock.
Dwayne Johnson or The Rock. Ako kasi The Rock pa rin kilala ko sa kanya.
Dwayne Johnson. Moana, di ba? Si Maui of Moana. Okay. Okay, so he has all the money in the world to protect himself from COVID, I would suppose, no? But his entire family contracted the disease.
The virus. Because from another family that they also,
their family nila, relatives nila, and they thought it was safe because their family member, yung extended family members nila, were also not going outside too much. And they had a get-together. Okay? And there was somebody who was infected.
Yeah.
At ang result nun is, and probably asymptomatic because they didn't see it there, at ang result nun, his entire family, the family of
the ones that came and their own family.
Yes. Okay, so hindi na, di ba? So someone was infected there. So his two little daughters, they got sick. But, he was very thankful because it was very mild for the children. But siya and his wife, they really got it na parang it was a moderate infection and it was really difficult for them. So we really have to follow yes, life is always worth celebrating. Love is worth celebrating. But now in a pandemic, follow the health guidelines. Sabi nga na strictly follow. By the book tayo.
Oo, yes. And I guess the mistake kasi we make, yun nga, no, the DIY route of running an event or running your wedding. Siyempre, before the pandemic, it would be, number one, makakatipid ka. Pangalawa, anyway, I have a friend or my sister is very good at running events. She does it at work or, she does this. So I think she can handle it. But I think the point that we're trying to drive in now is it's not that our friends or our families are not capable, but it's important to leave this part to the professional so that you can celebrate freely.
Right.
If we are going to ask somebody in our family or somebody close to us who doesn't really do this, syempre they will not be able to put as much focus preparing for your event because they have their day job, diba? Or they're also doing something. So they cannot, just by virtue of time, they will not be able to put in the same amount of time that a wedding planner and a wedding coordinator does when it comes to preparing for protocols, making sure everything is in place. Talagang they will not miss anything out. Kasi yan yung 9 to 5 nila. Yan yung ginagawa nila.
Yan ang profession nila.
That's what you're paying for them to do.
Right.
And so maybe that's the thing that you're gonna have to pivot or adjust in your budget, in your sheet.
Hindi last minute ng coordinator mo.
Yes.
You don't need someone who will just show up on the day itself. You need someone like today you decide, okay, let's get married. Okay, after hearing this talk, sige, okay, let's get married. Embrace it. Unang-una niyo pong hanapin is a reliable coordinator. Hindi yung gagawin yung lahat, tapos ito turn over nyo kay coordinator.
Yes. Hindi na po siya uubra, guys.
Yes.
That's how I did my wedding 9 years ago. It works. It worked 9 years ago because there was no virus.
Yes. Maybe when things are better again, and ito reality check ha, guys. Again, 6 months na. This week I got calls from wedding suppliers asking us, kailan na ba magba-bridal fair? Actual bridal fair. And I was telling them, Or magba-bridal fair pa ba kami? And I was telling them, may bridal fair pa rin kami, but we
Yes.
have to pivot. It's now online, okay?
Yes.
Of course, the goal and the desire is to eventually be able to go back on ground, okay?
Yes.
But uh, and they were saying, January game na ba kayo? uh, and ako and I told them, you know how I work, and I've been doing this most of my adult life na talaga. And I will tell you at this point, I don't know. Okay, I don't know. It's been 6 months. Will things be better in January? I hope so.
That's what
But
we want.
reality check, baka hindi pa. And it will take a while for us to go back to the way it used to be.
Yeah.
Even if a virus comes out at the latter part of the year, in November, in December, it's not an assurance because we don't know yung availability nun.
Sorry, you mean a vaccine?
A vaccine, yes. Oo. Kasama ba yung Philippines sa priority ng pagbibigyan? Okay, and if it's here in our country, will everyone be able to afford?
It. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So, things will be like this for some time, but it's not going to be forever. But reality check, it's not gonna be anytime soon.
Yeah.
Not in the foreseeable future. Okay, so yun din dapat, it's not even a trend, but yes, moving forward, as you plan your special events, you have to bear that in mind. And given that, dahil nakikita mo na this is the way things are, okay, again, embrace the situation. If you've really decided to go for it, embrace everything that comes with it. Okay? So, kasama doon yung decor, yun nga sabi mo, i-adjust mo rin yun.
Yes.
Now you have to work with what's available. Because even if, sabi nga nila, nag-open na ng flights, but I read kanina na ang travel industry, the airlines, the way they see things, they're going to be back to yung traveling would be in 2023.
Yeah.
Okay, so even yung cargo planes, it's not 100%, and it will take a while, about a year, to be back to where it used to be. So ang hirap to be shipping things na wala dito. So work with what's available.
Yes.
Buy local. Sinabi to ni Gideon when we had him here in our event. Okay, patronize the local businesses, the local suppliers, local flowers. And that's why you have to work with really reputable and creative suppliers because they know exactly. Hindi, etong mga taong to, they do it, yung profession nila yan, at passion nila yan, at they're very creative, that they can work even without a template. They will go outside of the box to give you the beautiful setup na hindi mo akalain posible pala in a pandemic.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the trend that I see happening for the weddings that we will have now in the near future. Eventually, probably in a year and a half's time, we will see the pre-pandemic weddings slowly coming back. Okay, I think full cycle natin, kung gusto mo talaga ng mga ceiling treatment and grand and siksik na ballroom, probably 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 years. So, that's the way I see it. So, yeah, kung sa tingin mo, 2 years, para yung nasa vision board ko, yung mood board ko, okay, ngayon na ako magpapakasal, then yun yung tips namin sa inyo.
Yeah.
And then go to a bridal fair.
Yes, I was gonna say.
An online bridal fair.
Yes.
No, diba? No themes and motifs will not have any exhibits right now at the SMX. Okay, we want to. Nami-miss na po namin kayong lahat, but we realize that it will take a while for us to see each other again physically. But we are bringing Wedding Expo Philippines right into your homes. Okay? On September 16 to 30, we will bring Wedding Expo Philippines safely inside your homes, diba? So you can take your time to choose your wedding suppliers. You're away from the virus, and you're sure that there are no bogus suppliers, because we require everyone joining to have all their business papers in prepared, kaya legitimate itong mga suppliers na kasali. So that's Wedding Expo Philippines, September 16 to 30. Huwag po muna tayong lalabas at mag-attend ng on-ground. Una po sa lahat, hindi pa ho po pwede. Diyan nasa tayo, 10 people lang po. Bawal na bawal po ang mass gathering. And even if they relax sa MGCQ, it is still 50% of the venue capacity. So the big events, the big crowded events are not yet possible. We don't see it happening in the near future. But Wedding Expo Philippines is now online. Okay, so this is the same fair that we have been giving you for the last 18 years. And meron pong online booths ang ating mga exhibitor. You can go to their online booth at the Bridal Marketplace. Right now, it's the best time to book because they have special packages applicable until the end of 2021.
Yes.
So if you book them now, it doesn't mean you're getting married now. Pwede pa rin po next year, and they have packages for you. In the Bridal Marketplace, they will have their portfolio there, photos, and maybe even videos of their products, services, kung mga venue yan. And you can check them out. You can also message them or
Yes.
chat real time. Especially sa September 26 and 27, the exhibitors will be online for 2 days. Parang bridal fair din po talaga.
Yes.
And you can chat with them real time. At Rona, may meet and greet kasi nga naman, di ba? Ay, lahat naman pwedeng pagandahin sa internet.
Yes.
We have a meet and greet September 26 and 27. That's from beginning 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Most of the exhibitors, kasi yung iba camera shy, diba? So a lot of them will be going online and will be introducing themselves to you, and you can ask your questions while they are being streamed live. So para na rin po kayong nagpunta sa bridal fair, pero ito po away from the virus.
Yeah.
Okay, so yun yung ano ko na, yes, attend a bridal fair, take advantage of the discounts, special packages that the suppliers are offering right now, and please do budget for a wedding planner, a very reputable wedding planner. And you can find all of those suppliers in Wedding Expo Philippines online bridal fair September 16 to 30. So 2 weeks. Yan ang
Yes.
ginawa ng pandemic sa bridal fair. So wedding
Hinabaan na.
mas mahaba. Okay? So, kung ikaw yung type na nagsimula ang pandemic, sa gabi ka gising, wow, pwede ka mag-bridal shopping
Yes.
sa gabi.
Yes.
Kasi
Huwag ka na
20.
mag-online shopping ng iba. Dito ka na.
Oh,
I know
dito.
what you do because I do that too.
Yes. Oh, eto na.
Online
Sure.
window shopping.
Vet your suppliers, mag-shortlist ka, balik-balikan mo yung mga portfolio nila. Okay, it's all at inside the Bridal Marketplace of Wedding Expo Philippines. So just go to the website of themesandmotives.com. I think naka-flash yan sa baba, no?
Yes.
Yeah, no? So go to the website www.themesandmotives.com. Ay, at baka makalimutan ko, Rona, we will be raffling off
Yes.
cash prize, 5,000 pesos. Okay, so there is soon to wed who will win 5,000 pesos. Nice Print Photography will be raffling off 3 free prenup e-sessions. Okay? At the Concept Room Studio, kasi kay Nice Print din yun. So tatlo yun.
Mm-hmm.
Golden Hills Jewelry will also raffle off 5. Ito yung heirloom, pang-heirloom piece mo siya. Yung
Wow.
endless treasures na Unity coins. Kasi nga, di ba, you have to do this, yung details of the wedding. So, 5 sets yan that they will raffle off. And last but not the least, for those of you who've been dreaming of the Teddy Manuel experience, Teddy Manuel will be giving away 3 bridal bouquets
Mm-hmm.
that he will be designing for you. So tatlo yan. At paano ka makakasali sa raffle? All you have to do is register.
Mhm.
Register sa aming bridal fair. Okay? And we are also flashing, ayan, kung saan siya mag-register.
And we'll comment it also on this video so you can easily just click and register.
That's correct. Oo. So just go to our website, www.themesandmotives.com for the details. Kasi ang daming dapat tandaang details. So just go to the website or follow us no, sa inspirations.ph website, sa social media sites namin. Follow us for updates and details of the bridal fair.
Yes.
So
Ako,
yun, di ba? Magre-register ka lang, pwede ka na manalo, di ba? So,
yes.
go
Ako, my
ahead.
tip would be, don't book a supplier without talking to them. If you are so nervous about paying your down payment, let's say, syempre, pag malaki, di ba? Whether, I don't know, caterer, photo, video, there are some suppliers that, they take a big chunk of your budget. And you can't see them face to face these days. Hindi na tayo pwede let's have coffee or I'll go to your office and things like that. I think that's why it's important for you to take your time and visit the bridal fairs and talk to them. That's the opportunity you get. You get to make sure that these are real people who will show up on your wedding day. Because, again, we don't have the assurance. Diba? At before, kasi ang tip was always, do not pay your suppliers 100% para sure kayo that they arrive. Mm-hmm. Now, I think, for me, I would say, don't book them right away or do the down payment if you haven't spoken to them. Especially ako, I would highly suggest videos. Kasi madali naman din talaga yung calls. Now it's very easy talaga. But to have a video and you'll be able to see how professional they are. I think mapapalagay ka bago mo i-transfer sa QR code yung down payment.
Yes. Oo. And then ask for references.
Yes.
Diba?
Have you worked?
Yung mga weddings that they have worked on, kung merong client that can vouch for their work.
Or if you've done a wedding in this time, that's also a very big plus point, diba? Mm-hmm. So, yun. Ms. Sharon, last question that I have for you. Although we've talked about it and you've mentioned that, yun nga I think it's time for us to stop saying intimate lang, small lang, ito lang. This is my wedding. This is my wedding at this time. And this is how I'm going to celebrate. In your perspective as somebody who's been in the wedding industry and just a person who also loves to celebrate, diba? And understands that life goes on and the milestones even as we are on. Why should we still push to have beautiful weddings at this time? Bakit siya hindi lang?
Well, sabi ko nga kanina, love is always worth celebrating. Diba? Kasi love wins. And because marriage is essential.
Yeah.
Diba? We learned that. There was a supplier that pointed that out. Essential ang pagkapapakasal. If you go back to the olden times, mas old pa sa akin, in the Bible.
Yes, the olden times.
The olden times in the Bible. Kaya nga na-realize ko, okay, kaya essential ang pagpapakasal. Sabi ni God, it is not good for man to be alone. Diba? Kaya nagkaroon ng woman. Okay, so, diba? We can argue and discuss na hindi literal yon, but the fact that there's a man and a woman and there was a man and a wife, essential siya. Okay? When we had our guest, si Dr. Anna. Hello, Dr. Anna York Bondo. When we had our guest, sabi niya rin, because nagpa-practice rin siya ng psychology, no? Ang sabi niya, especially during this time, importante yon that you have someone to go through life with you.
Right.
Now that things are uncertain, diba? Hindi mo alam, things are very fluid. So, That's why it is good to get married now. It is good to celebrate your love. It is good to be together right now
Mm,
because we don't know how long this will last. And
right.
di ba, there is nothing more assuring and comforting than having the love of your life by your side as you go through this difficult time. Oo. Eh, di ba may ibang namimiloso po, sumisenyas yung anak ko, sabi niya, "Siyempre dapat may God." Oo naman, given yun. Yun talaga yung comforting, that God is with us as we go through this.
Yeah.
But if you have someone, di ba, at alam mo namang mahal mo, and you have already proposed,
Mm,
di ba? Engaged na kayo eh. So it's worth celebrating that love, regardless of the situation now. Even if it is no longer the wedding that you envisioned na magkakaroon kayo, it's a different kind of wedding. Worth it yon.
yeah.
Diba? It's worth it. Diba? Naalala mo, Rona, we had this engaged couple, si Miko and si Kyra.
Yes.
Ang nasistress si groom. Kasi
Yes.
ang feeling niya, it's her wedding. I want it to be a beautiful wedding for my bride, diba? So meron na siyang na-envision when he proposed na ito yung magiging kasal nila. So it's not going to be that. Not yet, 'di ba? So if you're willing to wait, then go. But this is the best time to get married. Sigurado ka na eh. Because life is uncertain now more than ever. We know that. It's good to have the love of your life by your side.
Yeah. And I
For
would
you
put,
guys to celebrate life. Hindi
yeah,
para maging dalawa na kayong angst about life, but to celebrate love, to
yeah.
celebrate life together.
I would push that further and even say, if you're not engaged and you want to propose, do it. Do it. Do it. Because I think, yeah, for a lot of us, we're realizing what we want. We're realizing what's important to us, who is important to us, what we really want. And I think I'm pretty sure that if you're thinking about getting married and proposing to your girlfriend, that the pandemic is also just making things clearer for you, di ba? Na ito na talaga, siya na talaga, magseseryoso na talaga ako. Do it, and we are here for you to help you plan your wedding. Kahit anong capacity ng venue, 30%, 50%, do it. It's actually, I think, on a planning side, it's always easier to add. So if you're gonna think of your wedding as, plan it with the 30%, it's mas madali yata magdagdag kaysa magbawas. That's what
Right.
that's what we're seeing with couples, diba? It's harder for them to cut down the list. So if you plan with the bare minimum, and then on your date, if things ease up, then it's very easy to just add things. But for me, whatever we can celebrate in our family, we're trying to celebrate as to the best that we can. Just because we want to see that you want to appreciate the life that you have, and that life is beautiful and it's wonderful, and that includes marriage and love. So that is what we want to say every Saturday here at the Love Way Live Forum. That marriage is beautiful, and this is why having a beautiful wedding is also a must for you. And we're here for you to help you make that happen. So thank you for joining us this Saturday. Thank you, Miss Sharon, for being my resource person this morning. I have turned the tables on you because you've turned the tables on me.
Oo nga eh.
So fair na tayo. Equal na tayo.
Tabla na. Bronze,
Yeah.
bago ko mag-thank you rin sa kanila, because you mentioned yung engagement. Okay, so kung meron na-engage at this time, let us know. PM us, DM us, email us.
Yes.
We would love to hear about your proposal story, and maybe you can join us one of these days and share your story. So yes, we're looking for those that are engaged now, who have just gotten engaged. Share niyo yung kwento ninyo, and who knows, you might inspire a couple out there. Ang benchmark natin dyan, alam niyo, kung nag-iisip kayo, magpo-propose ba ako o hindi, tanungin mo yung sarili mo, kung magkaka-pandemic ulit, Diba? Or kung hindi na matatapos itong pandemic na to, gusto ko ba siya ang makakasama ko everyday at once a week lang kami pwedeng lumabas? Kasi naka-quarantine kami. Kakayanin ko ba yon? At kapag ang sagot mo is oo, wag mo nang hintayin ang 2022 para mag-propose.
Yeah.
Propose na. Okay?
Do it.
Okay. Thank you, Rona. Thank you. It's a pleasure again to spend my Saturday morning with you. It's also an honor na i-allow tayo ng mga ating viewers into their homes every Saturday morning. We thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you again next week for another Love Wins episode. Happy weekend.
Bye, everyone.